Everyone, this is Amanda Eke, host of the Poet Speaks podcast. Welcome to season 5. I talk to poets from all over the world engaged in spoken word, slam poetry, and oral traditions. And we were named as one of Strategic Media Inc.'s top 5 podcasts by Black creators in February of 2022. Tune in weekly to listen to me and poets talk about performing, oral tradition, and most importantly, they tell me why they need to get their words out. And guess what? If you or your organization wants to be a guest or a sponsor of our podcast, let us know and message us on Instagram and Facebook at the Poet Speaks Podcast. Enjoy. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Poet Speaks Podcast, the #1 spoken word poetry podcast in the world. Don't forget it, all right? Now, our next guest is a writer, author, and spoken word poet originally from Chicago, who's resided in Los Angeles for the past 8 years. Now she hosts a monthly open mic plus Black culture trivia night at Legacy Lounge called Pardon My Poetry. Her next show is on January 19th at 8:30 p.m. Now Ashley is currently finalizing her first poetry album, Flowers Won't Fix This, out on February 14th, 2023. Please welcome to the Poet Speaks podcast, Ashley Renee. Ashley, how are you?
Ooh, I'm great. That was an amazing introduction. Thank you. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good myself. It's a little snowy where I'm at, but I'm holding up here.
Yeah.
Now you're currently you're in the city of, is it still the city of angels? That's what they call it, Los Angeles.
I don't know if we can call it that. But I love it. I mean, I've been here for 8 years. Like, it's sad because like I live in the valley and I really don't explore. Like, it's so many parts of LA that I haven't explored. So like during COVID, I started going to different restaurants in different areas. And now I'm trying to like linger and just find new places to go. I've been going to Lamar Park and
Yeah.
Inglewood a lot just because I missed that feeling of just like home and being around Black people that I had in Chicago that I don't really have in this neighborhood. So I definitely have been mingling and getting out more.
Yeah. No, let's talk about that. That does make a difference when you're around people. It's like a familiarity. Like it definitely does. Like when you're not around your peoples or whatever your community is, it definitely does make a difference, right?
Yeah, that's so true. It feels like home. Like I found an open mic in Compton. I go to shout out to First Sundays, and it's like just being there, I feel at home, or just being in like even if I go to like the grocery store, I would literally drive 40 minutes to go to a grocery store around Black people. It just feels different. So
Yeah.
I've been doing that a lot lately.
Absolutely. It's one of those things like I feel like you can't reinvent home. Like you have to
Yeah.
like it's something that only you know. No, I love that. So tell us a little bit now. Obviously, you're in LA now, but you born and raised in Chicago, born and bred, raised, all that good stuff there.
Yeah, but South suburbs was still like my grandma lived in the city, so I claimed Chicago. But yeah, that's where I'm from originally. I moved out here, I think I was 26, 25, 26, one of those years. So yeah, I've been here for a while.
Absolutely. Was it so tell me, I'm always curious, Chicago Midwest, which was that where you finally found poetry, or did poetry find you in Chicago, or was it somewhere else, or was it Chi-Town or that Midwest area?
I feel like poetry found me at birth almost. Like my dad is a poet. He never performs, but he writes. He's always been like a secret writer. And just growing up, like I really gravitated towards reading and writing when I was very young. So I probably wrote my first poem at like 6 or 7. So I've always been writing, and it's just always, I don't know, it's always been a part of me. It's like something I use to cope when I'm like going through whatever. I'll write about it. It could be good or bad, but it's just always been like a very huge part of me. But yeah, I think my sister introduced me to like my first open mic when I was in high school, and I just fell in love. I'm like, oh my God, like I want to do this every day. I want to come to these. And it's like being exposed to Chicago poets is just so different because everyone was so dope. Like it was an amazing experience growing up.
Tell us a little bit about Chicago in that scene for spoken word poetry. Again, like I think, when I think Chicago, I think like shoot, what Common. I think Bilal is from Chicago. I think of like those like I think of a
I
lot
didn't
of
even
those
know
coming.
that.
I think, oh, don't quote
Yeah,
me on that, but I think of like the kind of that whole aesthetic rap. I think a lot of rap. I don't necessarily
yeah.
poetry though. So what's the spoken word poetry scene out there in Chicago like?
It's amazing. Like I know Common is there for sure or from there. But so growing up, I would go to this open mic. I was sneaking actually because I wasn't old enough. Like I was in high school. I think you had to be like 21. So I would use like or 18 or something. I don't know. But it was an open mic hosted by Emerald Green, who's an amazing, amazing poet. She's been on Deaf Poetry Jam multiple times. She's been on Verses and Flow. Like she's done like any poetry show you can think of, like she's done it. So I was I was really spoiled listening to poetry then because I had her, Harold Green, another dope poet from Chicago. They had like a group and they were hosted. This guy Binky, who was like a poet, MC, just everything. So yeah, I was just exposed to a lot of great people. Red Storm, he's another amazing poet. I think he was on Deaf Poetry as well. I could just keep naming people, but it's like it was a great experience that I don't think I don't know, I don't wanna, brag too much about Chicago, but we just have some dope, dope artists from there. So I was really spoiled.
No, absolutely. It makes a difference, I think, though, too, when you come from a place where that let's say in terms of poetry, where it's actually celebrated, as opposed to
Yeah,
kind of just people are just kind of doing it on the side, hidden. You know what I mean? In a lot of places,
yeah.
USA, like I'm sure there's not a lot of places like Chicago where it's like a celebrated art form. For you, did that make like a huge difference in terms of your kind of going after doing poetry? Like because you were coming from a place where it was so celebrated, you were like, no, this is actually possible. Let me go pursue this.
I think so. Had I been somewhere else, I might have not really taken it too serious. And even throughout my life, I've always went kind of back and forth between pursuing poetry and then like taking a break from that and then focusing on like writing and then taking a break from that as far as like blogs or screenwriting or all different aspects of writing. So I think seeing that it made me realize like, okay, this is possible. You can actually possibly get on like TV doing this, or you can have a poetry album. You can have things outside of books, and I don't think I would have thought like that had I not been exposed so early on to so many like amazing artists that were really doing things with their poetry.
Yeah. For you, like when you think about that, like you said something really interesting there. You say you wouldn't have thought about basically kind of expanding the form of poetry outside of a book. For you,
Yeah.
how important do you think that is, like having a bigger kind of plethora of things to put poetry into outside of just the traditional book?
I think it's really important. I think it's important really for the arts. I don't think a lot of people really think about poetry like that. It's like, oh, just snapping your fingers or something you read. I don't think people really think of it as something that could like rival rap or R&B or anything like that. I don't think people really view it that way. So I think it's really important because it is something that people actually enjoy listening to outside of just going to an open mic or YouTube or wherever they hear it. So yeah, I think it's definitely important.
Absolutely. Now tell us a little bit about so your poetry, where do you kind of draw your inspiration for your writings from? Like where what kind of what makes Ashley Ashley? Like where do you kind of pick that up from? Where are the roots of how you write? Where's that inspiration come from?
Literally everything and anything. Like I draw inspiration from a lot. Usually it's things going on in my life. I don't necessarily always perform those pieces, but I definitely write them. With my album, definitely a few of them were inspired by like real life situations. It could be something that I noticed or like a friend is going through. It could be something I see on a flight. Like it could literally be anything.
Mm,
So yeah, it's not one thing, but definitely I think my relationships um have influenced my poetry a lot. Not just like romantic, but even friendships, family, like I get a lot of inspiration from that.
Yeah, or I think it's like it's interesting asking people where they get their inspiration from because it can come from, a lot of poets, maybe it comes from a place of like trauma. For some people, it
Yeah.
comes from a place of just kind of mundaneness. Like it just all depends. So for you, you would say, and kind of also going into like your first poetry album, Flowers Won't Fix This. That's such an interesting title. Flowers won't
I
fix
know.
this. Because it's like, what does that mean to you? Because when I hear flowers won't fix this, it just means like you have like an unsolvable, maybe heartbreak problem. Like what kind of what was the force behind that title first off? Flowers won't fix this.
So thank you for asking. That's a great question. So I was working on my album. I have 5 poems done, and I did not have a title. I'm like, I just couldn't think of a title, and I knew I wanted 7 poems. So I'm like, I need 2 more poems. I kept trying to write stuff, but like nothing was coming to me. And then I had a situation with the person I was dating, where I really felt like, he's someone that would like send me flowers just because, or even if I was upset or whatever. Just the whole idea of like men sending flowers when it's like they've done something wrong is like an apology. And I felt like the situation was just so much above that. Like, no, it's gonna take a lot. And I wrote a poem. I was at the gym after I came up with the title. I was on the treadmill and I literally just started thinking of the poem. So I wrote out the poem on the treadmill. I was on the treadmill probably an extra 30 minutes writing out the poem. So it ended with flowers won't fix this, but diamonds may have helped. So it was like a little cheeky, which is kind of my personality as well. So I thought that was cute. But yeah, that's where the title came from. Thanks for
Wow.
breaking my heart.
Yeah, and you named the whole poetry album after that. Tell us this album, when you say poetry album, so this will be recorded in studio, voice as well as written. What is it looking like for a poetry album for you?
You know what's crazy? I have not been to the studio yet, and I'm probably gonna go Thursday, the day of my show in the morning. But I've never been a fan of having music behind my poetry. Like I don't know, I've always felt like it took away from the words. But I am gonna include that for a few pieces because I know it's like I don't want it just to be, literally just me, just spoken word and that's it throughout the whole album because I know people enjoy listening to things with music. So I just have to find like some really dope background music that is not too like it doesn't take away from the words. But yeah, I have a mixture of both, and then I have like some interludes with me, like just talking about the situations that led me to write different pieces.
Yeah. So I think that's super dope when people hear that. I mean, like literally a poetry album, it's like someone that's a musician, they go in and they create the EP, then they create the album or whatever that looks like. But to create a poetry album with interludes, all those things, I think for some people, they'll hear that and they'll be like, I've never seen that done before because it's not as like wide known or as widespread. For you, what, like we talked about this a little earlier and we touched on it, but what makes you wanted to make for your debut an album as opposed to a traditional book or a chapbook? What really made you be like, let's try something a little bit more, a little different than what most are doing?
So I wrote a poetry book when I was 26, and for me, it was just more so like everyone keeps telling me to do it. So okay, let me just do it. Let me get all of these poems out. And it's like now, honestly, looking back, I'm like, I don't like it. Like it's so much that I want to take out or that I would have put in. And for me, this sounds horrible, but I'm gonna be honest. So I always buy poetry books whenever I go to like an event. Like I have a lot of poet friends or associates. So I always buy their books and I have like literally 6 poetry books I haven't even opened. And I feel so horrible because I love to read. Like I love reading, but I'm just like on the day to day, I'm listening to music all day. Or I'm listening like I've listened to more poetry albums than I've sat down and read the books. So I don't know, I had a vision to do an album because I enjoy listening to things a lot throughout my day. And just I want to have like a vinyl of my album. That's something that's really important to me. So yeah, I mean, I definitely will probably do another book in the future. Um, but for poetry, I really wanted to do something different. Like I really wanted to do an album. And it's so funny because whenever I tell people I'm doing an album, even people that know I do poetry, they're like, "Oh, I didn't know you sing." I'm like, "I don't." It's a poetry album. So yeah, it's definitely different, but it's been done before as well.
Absolutely. Word. I'm curious too for the promotion for your poetry album. Will that be different than like a typical book tour? Do you see yourself kind of promoting it differently since it's in the kind of vein of an album as opposed to a book?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing a lot. Well, I won't say a lot because I need to do a lot more. But I've been like promoting it on TikTok. Like I did a little photo shoot, so I've used like photos and videos from that with the poems behind it. I've released two of the newer poems um, that kind of inspired like the title. So I'll definitely be doing a lot online as well as just getting out and performing more because I kind of took a break within like the last, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 months where I haven't really performed as much. So really just hitting different open mics, performing the newer stuff, and then also utilizing social media, which is something I haven't really
Mm,
done as much as I should be doing.
yeah, for sure. I think it's too like it's a difficult thing with social media. Like I even find myself in that trap too. Like, oh my God, I need to promote more. Like I could be bigger if I promoted my stuff on like
Yeah.
TikTok more. But it feels forced though. You know what I mean? Like it feels forced when it's not genuine to you and you're just promoting constantly on like these different sites and stuff. You feel like that too?
Yeah, for me, it's always been this constant battle between wanting to share myself and feel like, what I feel like I'm sharing too much. How are people gonna perceive this? Or feeling like, I don't know, let me take this down. And it's so funny because it's always the things that I'm like so nervous about putting out. Whereas like I'll go back and forth about taking it down and it gets the best response. So I guess it's just that part of me that kind of battles between sharing and oversharing and wanting to take social media breaks, but then I'm also, I have this artist inside of me that wants to share things. So it's just, I don't know. It's just like a constant battle between finding out that space between sharing and separating, I guess, the artistry from me as a person.
Word. No, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think a lot of people struggle with what to post and what not to post online. I guess I look at it
Yeah.
from like the sense of like, I don't know, I feel like in some ways I feel like there is a barrier between like what you're selling with your art versus you just selling yourself. So like if you like put
Yeah.
like if I'm putting constant pictures of like my personal life on social media, then I feel like that to me, I'd feel like, yo, I'm oversharing. But if it's just like, things like my work and stuff, I don't know, I wouldn't feel like I'm oversharing. But I get, different perspectives
Yeah.
for different people. But I'm curious too for you, and I'm wondering what poets think about this. What do you think is the best social media site for poets to share their work? Instagram, TikTok, or the other ones? Like, what do you think is by far the best place?
That's a good question. I feel like the direction that Instagram is going in, I wouldn't say Instagram. I definitely say TikTok because I feel like you have a larger reach. It's like you're reaching people all over the world with TikTok. And I just kind of feel like that's the direction that people are going in with like short videos. Yeah, I would definitely say TikTok, which I really need to get on more because on Instagram, I really don't do reels, which is another thing on IG I probably should start doing. But on Instagram, even with hashtags, I feel like I'm still primarily only reaching my 1,800 followers. So it's just like, okay, these are people that already know me. As opposed to when I post on TikTok, I have complete strangers like, oh, I want to come to your show or whatever. And I get a lot of support there too, which is crazy. Probably more so than Instagram.
Mm.
So yeah.
That's interesting, huh? I feel like with the social media, it's almost like you got to keep studying to like keep up because it's
Mm-hmm.
like, I mean, it's literally changing all the time. Like Yeah, no, I feel like with Instagram, yeah, you do feel kind of stuck almost in a box because like I be putting mad hashtags. And I'm like, I'm still reaching the same
Same,
the same
same,
couple of
yeah,
folks. Like I'm putting all these hashtags. Like it just, yeah, it's definitely. And then sometimes something really pops, and then it's just like I don't know. For me, I think the best thing too, I think 100%, I still think it's like getting on TV is like the best form of promotion. I don't know, no matter
yeah,
what at this point. But anyway, that's all fun and dandy. And these are all things that I guess we all have to figure out as we're going through careers as artists. But you know what? I want to
yeah.
talk about a little bit about your you have something I think is so interesting. It's you have a monthly open mic plus Black culture trivia night and you hold this in LA. Tell us, how did that kind of come about, and like how was this kind of even more so adding to the poetry side of things for you?
So with that it's an interesting story. So I'm actually just coming back from a hiatus. I think the last show I did was like it might have been in August or July. I don't even remember. It was during the summer. I'm not a host. Like I never saw myself as being a host because I'm just extremely like shy. I have anxiety. It's just really weird because I'm also a performer. But I don't get that when I perform. But with hosting, it's totally different. So at Legacy Lounge, shout out to Kelsey, the owner, the first Black female owned hookah lounge. So with Legacy Lounge, I would just go there. Like I enjoy going, supporting the establishment. So they had an open mic and I performed like once or twice there. And then Kelsey was like, I really want you to host. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm not a host. Like, no. And then she was like, no. She was like, they really love you. I think you would do a great job hosting. And I'm just like, no, like I just kept saying no. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe this will be fun. So like she asked me again. So I'm like, okay, let's try it. So I'm like, I love hosting at home. That's where I'm comfortable. Like I love hosting my friends. I host like game nights. I'm a big kid, so I love playing games. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want this just to be poetry. And I also don't want to just be talking on stage. So I need something to fill that up. And I'm like, oh, Black culture trivia would be like so dope. So like I bought like all these different like Black culture games, like Black Card Revolt. I bought like a Martin and Gina like trivia, and I just got a new one. It's like I think it's called something lyrical, but it should be cool. But yeah, that's like it's a fun, different touch to like any open mic that I've been to before. So I really enjoy doing that.
Absolutely, that's super dope. Tell us, like, so you're off of hiatus now, or when you see,
Yeah, so yeah, January 19th, I'll be off hiatus. Um, the break is over. And it's funny because like when it I don't know, we never really discussed taking a break, but it just happened. So it's like she happened to call me like right when I was coming up with my title for my album, and just I'm like, wow, like this is amazing because I need to do something to like just busy myself, also to promote my show. So it worked out really well. She was like, "Oh, you want to come back? People have been asking about you." So I'm like, "Okay, like yeah, I will."
what's been the reception from just folks in the area surrounding that Black Culture Plus trivia night? How's the reception?
Everyone has enjoyed it. Like as far as they've told me, I mean, everyone has had like a great time. Each time it gets better. I think the first show was like a little rough because it was mostly people just coming to support me and
Yeah.
not really people that enjoy poetry. So it was like people were performing and they were just like looking like they didn't know what to do. I'm like, okay. And it was my first time hosting as well. So I'm like, okay, so the next show, I really curated it. Like I went to like different poetry pages, went through their following list, looked at people that I thought would be dope to come, and like sent them invites. So I had like a lot of people that really like rocks with poetry. So it was really cool. But I think each show it just gets better, more fun because I get more comfortable hosting, and then it's just the crowd is always really cool. So yeah, I think people have enjoyed it. I haven't gotten any negative feedback, which is good. But if I do, I'm open to it, so then I can grow.
Facts, facts. No, absolutely. I think that's super dope, especially LA area. Y'all come out to Ashley's open mic. I mean, shoot, that should be some fun stuff. So tell me, this has been so great so far, but you know what? I just realized your album comes out February 14th. That's the day of love. So what was
Right.
there, was that planned?
I
That's
hate
coming up pretty
love.
soon.
No,
Is that planned? Is there a theme? Or are we gonna come
um,
with that? February
I
14th?
guess with flowers won't fix this. I'm like, man, this would be so dope to put it out on Valentine's Day, and also like the person I was dating, like we had a conversation months ago where I actually might put him on the album because I was voice recording it because he was like giving me this super long lecture. I'm like, shut up. So I just started voice recording him to like play it back to him. But actually having he's like, yeah, you need to just do it. Stop making excuses. Just put the album out. You should put it out on Valentine's Day. So I was like listening to it. I'm like, man, I should put it out on Valentine's Day. So I talked to him. I might put it out. I mean, I might add his little memo to it. But yeah.
I think that's super dope though. February 14th. That should be a fun little thing. I'm sure like all the promo can also be so dope with it. Are you a fan of Valentine's Day though? Do you celebrate?
Yeah, I love love. Like I am, I know earlier I was just joking, but I love love. A lot of my poetry prior to this situation has been about love. Like I'm such a big fan of love. I love Valentine's Day. I love spreading love. I'm sure I'll probably do something this Valentine's Day. But yeah, I love love, so I love Valentine's Day.
Word, yeah. No, I feel the same way. I'm definitely like a passionate motherfucker underneath
Yeah.
it all. But I think it's one of those things, people that don't celebrate. And for anyone that doesn't celebrate, I feel it. Everyone got a little something different going on. But like I feel like it's like saying that you may not want to celebrate like Mother's Day or something. Like it's there, so why not just celebrate it? You know what I mean? You celebrate love every single day. What's the difference between this February 14th? Why not celebrate it that day? So yeah, definitely, I feel that. I feel that I'm definitely spread the love while you can, while you're still here. But that's super dope. That should be really fun as that's coming out pretty soon the next month. Now tell me, what is kind of like for you, what is 2023 looking like for your writing and beyond? I mean, what is the rest of the year? You got your debut poetry album coming out, obviously the open mic. Anything else that you're kind of looking forward to?
Just really going hard in pursuit of my dreams. I feel like a lot of my life I put a lot of importance and a lot of time into other people, especially in relationships. And I haven't went as hard for myself, which is something I don't regret it because I feel like, everything happens for a reason. I definitely learned a lot, but really just going hard. Like I do have a book I want to put out. It's not a poetry book. But I definitely want to put out a book at some point this year and then just going hard for my album, promoting my album, and then in a few more months, putting out a second album. So really just writing as much as possible and just really going hard for myself because that's something I've never fully done.
Word. No, I think that's such a great goal to have, just really going in for yourself. A lot of people don't give themselves the space to do that. So I respects it. So tell me, Ashley, now as we're wrapping up, I have one final question for you. We ask everyone on the Poet Speaks podcast. Do tell me, Ashley, why do you need to get your words out?
I can't live without getting my words out. And that's very serious. Like writing and poetry is literally just ingrained in me. It's in my DNA. I could not, if someone said, like, oh, I'll give you $1 billion, but you could never write again, I would turn it down. Cause that's like, it's such a huge part of me. I can't see myself living or being happy without writing words, poetry.
Wow.
That was deep. That was so deep.
Those are some strong fighting words though. $1 billion, you turn it down for poetry. I respect
Yeah,
it. That's how you know this is what you're born to do. Like you said, it's in your DNA. But that's beautiful. I love
yeah.
that. Now, as we wrap up, tell us where can folks come find all your information? Any websites, handles, Instagram, TikToks? Where can folks find all of your amazing work?
So if you guys want to keep up with me on Instagram, my name is Ashley Renee Poet. It is ASHLEYRENEE Poet. TikTok is which I'll give it out. I normally keep my TikTok private because I'm just all over the place. But it's all things Ashley Renee on TikTok. My website, if you're interested in reading my blogs, which have nothing to do with my poetry, is more so like dating, relationships, life. It is poetashleyrene.com. And that's it. That's how you guys can keep up with me.
Perfect. Y'all, all of Ashley's links will be in the description box of whatever platform you're listening to the Poet Speaks podcast on. Just check out the description box below to go click and check out all of her amazing work. Well, Ashley, thank you so much for being a guest on the Poet Speaks podcast today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really, really have enjoyed this, Amanda.
Absolutely. And y'all, please go check out all of Ashley's amazing work and go check out the Poet Speaks podcast. We will talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.